Good morning. Good morning. It's time to rise and receive. Welcome to your 10-minute morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. So, today we're going to change it up a little bit. And instead of focusing on inviting good fortune, today we're going to talk about how to expand good fortune when you're too busy. So, this is really about taking a moment to look at inviting good fortune, unlearning struggle, and receiving your fulfillment from or through a lens of when things are going well, when you're able to get your attention onto the blessings in your life, the abundance in your life, and maybe you're excited, maybe you're feeling creative, maybe you're feeling inspired, and there's more stuff that you want to do, but you're too busy. You're too busy. So whether that feels like you, just as you listen to what I just said, or you want to take this opportunity right now to place your attention on the good things in your life, the things that maybe you take for granted, the things that you really love that you wish you had more time for, and settle into today's rise and receive through that, with that lens, with that kind of outlook in mind. Okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I come to you each day with this Rise and Receive Facebook Live, and then it goes on to YouTube, to really illuminate and support you in exploring this really tangible, really important skill set, which is receiving. I love to teach people how to receive, because my experience after 25 years of coaching and really focusing on how to teach people to manifest their dreams, goals, wishes, wants, and aspirations with a really good track record, it's become really super simple and distilled in the last few years. And one of the things I've learned is that when people feel stuck in their manifestation efforts, they tend to continue to do, it's that whole Albert Einstein quote, which is I think it was Albert Einstein, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And so while we learn skill sets and mindsets around manifestation, what we tend to do that we're not as aware of is we approach it from what I call the hunter or doing model of manifestation, even if we're working with energy, even if we're working with consciousness. And so what happens is we might take our attention off of the outer world and really look at what are my thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, and how do I shift that. And people use visualization and vision boards and affirmations and all sorts of inner world practices, but we still tend to work too hard. We still think if it's not working, I must need to do more. I must need to do it better. I must be doing something wrong. I need to figure out this problem. It's a very masculine energy approach to manifestation. And what I've realized that keeps people stuck, if they're still seeking and they're still working hard for their long overdue rewards, is what's missing is the being model of power, the being model of manifestation. It's the feminine energy. And as we open up to that skill set to partner and balance out the masculine model, so we have doing and being in full balance and availability to us. We have the hunter and the majestic tree who receives all day long simply by standing and receiving all day long from nature, from the sky, from the earth, from animals, the bees that take what it has to offer and then spreads it onto the world. And so it impacts and influences the world by its presence and by what's shared effortlessly without hard work. As we open up to that expanded, inclusive, holistic approach to manifestation, all of a sudden we start to receive things that we've been working hard for and we just couldn't get there. So what I do each day is I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck and I ask a question. We're currently doing a series on how to invite good fortune. So I ask a question along the lines of, which is what I did today, is how can I invite good fortune when things are going well, or when I want to expand on the good things in my life, but I'm too busy. I hear that a lot. So, one of the casualties of many with COVID is we have people at home. We have parents who are trying to work and homeschool their kids, and there's that spaciousness in their life is, you would think that because they're not going to work, they have more spaciousness, but because it's hard to create time and space for themselves, that busyness gets amped up, and it's a challenge. And so that's just one of the ways it plays out. But a lot of us, when we start to do things that we love, we want to do more of it, and we just don't have time. We feel too busy. So that's what today's about. And as I pulled a card with that in mind, the card, which was really amazing, was receive time. Receive time. So I'm not going to read you the whole card because I already did a full video on this, but I'm going to highlight a portion, and then we're going to unpack it a bit about how to expand good fortune when you're too busy. So take a moment to just sit back, take a breath. And this is the part I'd like to highlight today. Lack of time is never the problem. Lack of time is always a symptom of how you direct your awareness. As long as you believe that lack of time is the reason you can't or don't have what you want, you will struggle. However, as you begin to work with the underlying cause of time lack, you will expand in your capacity to receive not only more time, but also the very things you wish you had time for. There are two reasons you struggle with not enough time. Number one, your belief that you don't have enough time. And number two, your unchallenged habit of thinking this way. Your consciousness creates your reality. Time is an illusion. Your experience of time expands and contracts based on a variety of factors concerning your awareness. If you truly want more time, your opportunity starts in a single moment of awareness. Take on this practice and start changing your lack-based thinking habit. As you are able, notice each time you think something like, I need more time, I don't have enough time. Also notice the sensations in your body when you feel rushed, when you feel crunched for time, amped up, or are speeding around. Then pause, breathe, and simply be willing to have time expand for you. It will. It works every time. And as you notice more breathing room, give grateful thanks for the newfound spaciousness that is revealed. So some of you may have heard me say this before, and it bears repeating. I have like a series of mantras that are kind of go-to willingness mantras that my clients love. And if you take on saying this mantra, anytime you feel crunched for time, time will expand for you. So if you get nothing else out of today, practice that and see what happens. Like really be a detective. Try it on, experiment with it, see what happens. The key is always awareness. When you're feeling rush, instead of just being rushed and creating more rushed, notice, I feel rushed. I'm stressing. I don't have enough time. Pause, breathe, and here's your mantra. I am willing to have time expand for me. I am willing to have time expand for me. I just love the stories that I get back when my clients take this on. And I'm talking about, people who are, just running from the moment they get up to the moment they go to bed, parents and, two-parent households where people are working and running around and homeschooling kids, and CEOs and all kinds of professionals that are on call, whether you're an essential worker, whether you're a doctor in the emergency room, whatever it is. If you can notice when you're rushed, instead of continuing to create more and more and more of the rush by embodying that energy of too busy, I am willing to have time expand for me. You can say it all day long. You cannot say this enough. It's a powerful mantra. And then watch how time expands for you. So that's what you can take away for the 10-minute morning send-off. And then to unpack this a little bit, I just really want to shine the spotlight on this because it's so powerful. So, number one, if you want to expand your good fortune, what you need is space. And I'm going to just fix my lights here because they just flaked out on me. Okay, so if you want to expand good fortune, if you want more time for the things that you love, if you're already feeling grateful and creative and inspired about something and you're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much I want to do and I don't have enough time, the first thing you need is space. Our minds will say I don't have enough time, and we always blame it on time, but it's not about time. It's always about space. And if you've been coming around to Rise and Receive, one of the key things I always say is in order to receive, you need a space in which to receive. To make it really simple, if you have a bowl and the bowl is full, you cannot receive. If you have a bowl and the bowl is empty, you can receive. You need the space in order to receive. So it's not about time, it's about space. And here's the other thing. There is always space. That bowl is a bowl until eternity, okay? It's always going to have space. So if you think that you don't have time in your life and you don't have space in your life, that is simply an illusion. There's always space. The question is the space full or is it empty? And what most of us do is unconsciously, we always have our spaces filled. That's the feeling of too busy. And then we blame it on time and we blame it on all of these circumstances that fill our space. But it's up to us to empty the space, to create the space. All right? Now, here's the thing. If you have a really busy, full life, all right, this is going to take a little bit of intention and mindfulness. But I promise you, it all starts in awareness. If you are able to take on this challenge of saying, I am going to create space for me every day, it is one of the best things you can do. People hear all the time about, oh, I need to meditate every day. And they know it's a good idea. Sometimes people understand the power of it. But I think the key that really can make a difference is to understand that when you create space, and I'm all about space in the morning, all right? Space that is for you. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes. Doing nothing is doing something. But what tends to happen when we over-rely on the doing model of power, we have no idea about the power of being. And we have gotten a lot of validation and a sense of value from doing, and producing outcomes. When we think about stopping and actually prioritizing space, we actually think that something is wrong. We're missing out on opportunities to be doing more. I should be doing more. Busyness feels right. Busyness feels normal. It's our set point. And so the idea of stopping the overfunctioning without understanding the value of why, the value of being, then it just becomes like this really awkward, uncomfortable thing, and we don't understand how that could make our lives better. And that's what I want to illuminate today. If you can prioritize making space for yourself, you will start to unlearn the struggle of overfunctioning and always running and always doing and too busy. And in that space, your only priority is to be. This is space for you, not space for the phone and not space for social media, not space for the news and not space for everything else. This is space for you to be. And in that space, you receive you. Whatever shows up. I don't care how you use the space as long as it's for you. You can journal, you can meditate, you can listen to a YouTube channel, you can listen to Rise and Receive. There's a whole bunch of them now on YouTube. So you could just say, I'm going to listen to a Rise and Receive every morning and let it nurture me. Okay. And what that does is when you say there is time and space for me, you manifest time and space for you. For the things that feel good. Your consciousness embodies that, and then the physical world rises up to meet you, and you can expand on the good fortune that you already have. Time expands for you. All right, so I hope this is helpful. I hope you're willing to take on this as a challenge, as something to experiment with. And there's one more thing I want to say. if your physical life just feels like, I just can't do it, remember, everything begins in consciousness. Your consciousness creates your reality. And your ability to create space and time for you begins in awareness. That's the first space. I call it the micro spaces. Look for the micro spaces in your life. The moment that you notice you're too busy and rushing around, and you can say, I'm noticing that. You've just created a space. There's a space between you and the busyness, and now you can invite time to expand for you. I am willing to have time expand for me. As you do that, it will expand and expand and expand, and you will see that it will become easier to create space for you in your physical world. And then with that spaciousness, you can receive and expand in your fulfillment. Remember, if you want your good fortune to expand, you need space for it. You need space for it. Just like if you want to grow your family, you need space for your family. If you want the tree to grow, you need space for the tree to grow. We have to cut back the bushes so that it can flourish. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you will take it on. Remember, here's your mantra. I am willing to have time expand for me. And I would love to hear how this goes for you because, like I said, I always get these wonderful happy dances and success stories when people try it on, and it's very fun to see how easy it can be. If you like this, please share, please subscribe. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. Have a great day, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.